What's up, everybody? I'm running a tad late. I'm going to make that my new nickname, running late. You have joined the Whitney Lady Hippie at the bar live. So I'm enjoying this. I do this every day. I don't make any money at this. Let me see a little background. Army veteran, published author, mother of one, grandmother of two, one, also an Army veteran. Gives away some of this stuff. Rest is state secret. Thanks for joining me up here. I got live chat on. I got comment on. I've had to change channels because it took me a year off because I had a horrific accident, lots of surgery. I'm back. I'm walking and talking. Probably talking too much. So this is the bar. So children, please send them off to go play. Give you time to do that. And this is the one place, and that's probably the reason I love doing a podcast. I wasn't able to yesterday. I was too busy. And my husband gets me my little fireball whiskeys, and we have some great bourbon here, and some a wonderful scotch, expensive. And I ran out of my little bottles, and I have a drink when I'm up here. It's my bar. This is what I like about this. This is where I zone out for an hour and then pick back up and finish for the day. And even being retired, it's ridiculously difficult to get 10 seconds to call your own. Sup, ladies? How you been? What you doing? I had to get dressed up today, of course. See and it goes to the bottom. And that's the print. So they're for the ladies. And I had lace shoes on at the back that are really awesome. And they kind of sparkle. Robert bought them for me for Christmas while my ankle was still broken and my leg was still broken. And they was doing the second surgery. And, I got to wear them today. But I only walk around a little bit because when I got home, I wanted to throw them away. They're gorgeous, but boy, it really irritates like every bone that's in there. There's only 2 bones in the leg, but they disconnected from the ankle. So there's this 9-inch, it's what they said, 9-inch nail. I looked at shouldn't have. First, they showed me the breaks and how bad they were, and the ankle being disconnected and all that. So they had to wait for some swelling to go down. So the hurricane hit on the day it was due to have an outbreak. 2 weeks later, they sent me to the University of Augusta, and head surgeon took the info. He looked at me, and he did everything on my leg and told his nurse to get ready to redo that. And he's looking at it, and he says, "This has not been touched for a month." I said, "Well, they did put another bandage on it. They have these things that look like L-shaped things. Now, they don't put a cast. They did that, and then they put something on your foot, and then they do the rest of it in ace bandages." Yeah, and I had all these breaks, and jagged and out of place. Been through a hurricane. It's been a month. I'm like, hell yeah, a month. And he says, "Well, you'll be here tomorrow morning at 4:30. This is going to stop right now. This has to be done. You need surgery. You okay with that?" I said, "Yes, sir." He gave me a hug and said he was angry at the VA, and they worked together. And he said he was angry at the VA about this. I said, "Well, they're still down. It's mainly the ER that's functioning at the pharmacy." And he said, bit his tongue. He's like, So I liked him. He's a young boy, about a little bit older than my grandson. So he was really great. Did all the surgeries, and so I got to see them for a year, a little longer. And then it was, physical therapy at the VA. So now I'm able to walk without assistance. That's what they told me. So I'm going for it. I have to sit down a lot, but I reckon that's just going to be until I'm used to it. It's a lot of metal in there. I drive by the VA, and to get through there, I have to go by the airport. Lights start flashing, sirens go off. You can hear a telegraph operator, did it. I'm like, it's just me, dude. Good job. That I have so much hardware in here. There's no way they would ever want me to fly. They just look at me, stick it up. Sounds like my closet. This morning, I popped in, I said, "Look, I didn't do my podcast yesterday." And I was talking to my husband. I said, "I didn't do it yesterday. I'm going to throw it in today after I get back from the grocery shop. I'll be a little late, but I get up there." And he's like, "Okay." And I go over to the closet, and I open the door, and I look in there, and I'm like, oh boy, what do I want to wear? And I said out loud, "Is what you got in here for a woman over 60? The door slammed shut." Time to go shopping. I like this one. It's almost full length. You put the little crinoline under it like the 50s. And it's really cute. It's just cute. And so are the shoes. I'll pay for that now. And I've already switched out shoes that I'm still paying for. So I'm having me my usual Fireball whiskey. I like my whiskey on the rocks. This is my Scottish clan. That's what that is. And so when I'm drinking, people think I'm drinking all of this stuff. It's mainly water. The ice, boy, whiskey will melt ice fast, boy. You want to get out of your house? Throw some whiskey in. You're in the north. I was born in the north. I love. That is an amazing drink. I love that burst of cinnamon at the end. I just pick and choose whatever the hell I want to talk about up here. It's my bar. It's my show. Oh. If there is anybody out there that's seen it and is brave enough to come out and talk to me, I sure like to see you. I love everything from ghosts. Well, now they told us not to talk about politics and religion when I was growing up. And now we talk about fucking politics and religion. That's all. There's no news programs. The only news programs are like that 23-year-old boy that hit the Leary Center there in Minnesota. People, it wasn't $8 billion. Those fucks probably sold almost $1 trillion. They're in there now repossessing their Lamborghinis and shit, and they're all going, no, take a children to school. I owe a daycare. This is children to school. What are you going to do? Tie them to the top? That Lamborghini won't sit for like 2, maybe. On top of that, I see big rig drivers. My husband drove for 50 years. He was an instructor as well. And they're Punjabi. They say they're Punjabi, and they get out, they have flip-flops on. It's minus 30 out there. They're in the north. I think that's where they all, for these police cams, body cams. They're from somewhere warmer, which would, of course, probably be India. But in any event, they make out the numbers for DOT, and they put those on the doors. And half the maybe with tire flat, only one headlight. They don't have any brakes. Something's leaking behind it. And one of the trees that they're about to lose, and I just need you to drive. Never mind, get out of the car. Quit chance behind your back. I see this. I've seen him. I've watched him 5, 6 times, and I like to think of it. Everybody that gets near red, please God, be careful. That man that killed those people in that red car in California knew what he was doing. He didn't have maybe a license, except for California, to drive a rig, but he knew instantly what he was doing. Why, he showed no surprise. You can be a truck driver X amount of years. You can be that in Germany and then come here. It's still a fucking truck. It's still a fucking highway. You know what you're doing as far as that goes. You may not be able to read the fucking sign, but you got the shit up there beeping at you no way. He turned that thing into a U-turn because whatever the red car did that was killed by hitting him, somehow they made him angry. And so he did what he did. He didn't care for the lives of any of those people. He deliberately turned that truck so they would hit it and probably die. That's why he looked so smart. Those are the kind of people that don't need a needle. They need a blindfold and keep the fucking cigarette. They don't even deserve that. And then they tell somebody, oh, they'll get 20 years. And they wonder why the woman in Germany went up and shot the guy 6 times. She shot till she had no more bullets. It might have been 9 times. He had raped and murdered her 4-year-old daughter, and they were letting him walk on a technicality. And she stood up and she emptied the clip. Boy wasn't going nowhere. And trust me, there's a lot of us that feel that way. I love being in the South since I was raised a Northerner. They might say, they're not going to give up their Bibles and their guns. No, the fuck we are. We're not. Most of the bow hunters will never do that. And I admire them. I can't do that anymore. I used to love archery. But since my accident and my age caught up, I really am not good at that anymore. So my weapons have a laser sight. I just paint your ass. Almost love the 20th. Don't you love the 21st century? It is so cool. When I was growing up, like say my little granddaughter is 13. When I was 13, I got my first transistor radio. I'll never forget it. It weighed like a boombox. It was like, took 400 size D batteries. That would suck it dry in half an hour. We carried that thing everywhere. Everybody had batteries. and beer they stole from dads and uncles and friends. I had one hell of a life in Chicago. And we were the first group of women in the Army. We were enlisted in the WAC Corps, the Women's Auxiliary Corps at Fort McKenzie in Alabama. And we all boarded the plane and we got off, and it was Fort Jackson in Columbia, South Carolina. But we women are looking at each other going, well, where's the next plane? We thought we had to get another plane. And they had someone there to pick us up, of course. And they said, no, you are now assigned to Fort Jackson. It's training base. Well, Fort Jackson is a training base for the men. And we didn't know what the hell was going on. They explained that the WAC Corps had been disbanded, and now women would be trained with the men. I'm 5'2", I weigh 88 pounds, swear to God. And I'm thinking I'm going to die here. Because they gave us the choice. You don't have to stay. We won't hold that against you or anything. You won't get it dishonorable or anything like that. But I looked around and I had rank, because I had gone. Just put it this way, I had chevrons, the rest of them did. So somehow I get all the shit. Shit rolls uphill in the Army. And so, yeah, here we go. And he says, I used to jump out of airplanes and kill people. He was a Vietnam Airborne Ranger. I'd been up for 4 days. I ain't never had good stuff. I just fell over laughing. I couldn't stop. It caught on. Suddenly all the girls were laughing and a couple of the guys were like, first time we met the people who would train us. So he called me out. Again, I had rank. And he said, hey, Bullock, you don't have a record. And I think something's up here because it says here in your record that you are from Cook County, Illinois. I said, that's right, Drill Sergeant, I am. He said, and you don't have a record? I said, no, sir, I tried hard to avoid that. He said, all right, from now on, your name is Wicked. He was the only one. I was the only one he tagged with that or anything. And he says, also, you work for me because I see here you type in you're a nurse. And I'm like, fuck. So I got to do what every boy does because they're boys. And I got to do shit for the captain. And it turned out pretty cool. I loved it. We were good at it. My cat's photocopy. Get down pics. And so it was very different. But after a few years, we began to realize that we had done something incredible because we were seeing women firefighters. We were seeing women pilots, fighter pilots. We have one now who's the Golden Knight, first one, West Point, all of that. What are you doing? I don't know why she's doing it. She said they photobomb me. Get off. Get back. The bar is big, thank God. So she just jumped over to the other side. The cats run my house. See what I'm saying? She's not come back this way. Get out. Well, you were, whoa, she was really stubborn. She usually is not like that. I think I've talked on a little bit. I usually don't drop videos. I figure you've seen them, or if you want to, you can tell me in the comments, live chat, whatever. I'll drop it. But I figure all of us have seen them all 500 times. I haven't seen anybody. They say they've got 9 people they're sending to prison. The judge overturns it, says they're not guilty. I don't even know this planet anymore. All the years I spent in government, both as a soldier and a nurse and secretary afterwards, I don't understand it. I forgive me for my house. It's all a disaster. Everything is being renovated and nothing gets done quick when you're our age. It just goes, okay, we'll do that part tomorrow. So my husband's like, it's running really late. If you're going to drop a podcast, you better hurry. I was like, I don't even know why I'm going up here. I had a following on my first channel, which was Lady Hippy at the Bar. I only added Wicked Lady Hippy at the Bar live. Uh, that's all I added. And yet, I mean, for the second channel, because I couldn't get the first channel to work right. Something about I need to empty my cache, and I just haven't had time to sit down. My husband came home about last week, and he had two more Chromebooks. I've got Chromebooks across this bar. I have three microphones. I mean, I've got my my golden microphone that my husband got me. So I would love to have guests, but I don't because all my friends are going, "How do you get up there to talk?" I'm scared. And they're here sometimes when I put this on. Like I said, I do it live. Sometimes I sometimes I take a minute or two to edit it. Mainly, I don't. um, there's been one or two because they said YouTube said something about you could do this or you could do that, and hear things, and so I had to go in and delete things. But generally, I don't even look. That's what I love about this. This is social Woodstock, and you don't even need a bra, man. You can just sit at home and call up, and we can do it that way. I mean, it's amazing to me, the technology and what we can do. We can talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime, for anything. And I don't see people jumping in. So jump in. If you see me, listen for a minute. Say, well, damn, she's right, or damn, she's wrong. I don't really give a shit. Do something. I don't make any money doing this, but I sure have a hell of a time. I drink a little bit of my whiskey, and I have my little cigarillos. They go out, and I had to quit smoking some years ago. And a friend brought one of these to the bar. And after my husband kept talking to him about how it goes out and all that, I said, "Oh, can't I just have one every once in a while I'm on the air? Because I love to have a drink and be on the air and then, do what everybody else does when they leave the bar, go home, finish your work." So I get to, while I'm here, only have my cigarillo and my whiskey. So you'll see me relight this puppy probably 400 times, just like everybody thinks I'm a drunk because I have half a glass of whiskey, which is probably not far from the truth, but you. I was dying of thirst too. Oh, yeah. When I went shopping, I went to two places. Walmart, which I'm beginning to dislike, but it's only 2 miles away. No highway, it's just a straight shot. And and I can actually stop at one of the little dollar franchises and look around and see what they got as far as candles and rugs, whatever. Just like to stop in and look about. And I like to get my chemicals from them. They're not as expensive as the stores, although they've all gone up $4 or $5. I don't understand why it costs $22.50 for pine salt, but if you got to pay $28 for a roast, somebody's making a lot of fucking money. And I'm thinking about going over and being just vegan or don't eat meat, or we're getting tired of spaghetti and barbecued chicken and hot dogs and beans. It's the style. I have no idea what my cats are doing behind me, but I know they're going to pay me back and tell them they can't be on the bar. So today I decided I wouldn't. I didn't throw any ghost stories in, although I saw a couple of good ones. I like them shadow things. Well, I don't like them. Please don't come here. But I call them peekaboos because they'll look around and until they know you see it and have filmed it, and then it leaves. But then knocking starts over here and over here. Something Maine. I can't remember. Is it Ghost in Maine or something like that? I'd have to drop it for you if you want to see it. There was a shadow critter. This guy kept catching it everywhere. I mean, on camera. The weirdest one I saw, and usually had the shape of a human when he caught it. And it would be a blur. I mean, as he was panning the room, he didn't see it, but the camera picked it up. It was in the corner, whatever. Sitting on the bed one time, one was lying on the bed. Oh my God. My son saw one of those in my mother-in-law's home. She had passed away and had willed it to us. And we didn't want to live in that city, so we were renovating so we could sell it. And then they rezoned it. It was a real mess, but it was a lovely home, very old. And my son went off into the kitchen, and suddenly he had run back and got in my lap. His entire body was trembling. He was 26 years old. His wife was sitting next to me, and he's hugging me, and he's in my lap. I'm like, "What happened to you? What is going on?" Because I have a story that was similar to this. And his mother, there was a total black man in that recession. It was darker than dark. And I hear, after I began to investigate, this was 20 years ago, after I investigated, I found that, oh my God, this is everywhere. And so I started calling peekaboos. Something Maine, I can't think, it'll come to me. But he got a bunch of those. And like I said, because of my son. And I went running in there with holy oil and a crucifix and a rosary. My son screaming, "Mom, don't go." And I'm like, "Oh, no, no, mama, no, mama, no, mama." So, and I didn't say a thing. But I did smudge the house, and it got a lot quieter. I used to see total like an Indian village out through the back in the early morning fog, saying like 4:35 in the morning. And I was like very awed by that. I would see that a lot. So I think that the ground it was on, it had something to do with that. And my husband's father, and this is an old home, and it had hardwood floors. And you could hear his father was named Noble, Korean War vet. And the oddest thing is, he passed away here in the Augusta VA. That's the VA that's treated me for 15 years. So it's really been strange. But you could hear him coming. And my husband and I are not sound sleepers when we're veterans. Pretty much if blow your nose, we're up looking for a weapon. And in that neighborhood, we slept with the weapon. In any event, you could hear him coming, and then there'd be a pound on the door, and it's your lazy up, boy. Lazy ass up. And this wasn't every day, but yeah, we had some stuff going on there. So we hurriedly moved out of there. But it still had me researching again, and I'd always been into the spec. When you reel to reel was, like again, a box. So you had 8 millimeter tape and start, stop, but you could get some EVPs on those. Now I see everybody use their phone. It was like tabs had 14,000 feet of wire. Loved them guys for 20 years. Sightings, all of those. I just love all that stuff. And it was great these guys were doing that. I didn't have time. When you're a hippie and you're still going to schools and so forth, you think, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and I'll be done. I get to go do this. Not how life works. Not at all. No, hang that up. Mm. Most of the time, kids don't help. We gave us 3 cars. When we were getting going, nobody gave us shit. I worked just to buy my school clothes, and I was adopted, and they got paid for adopting me. We were in the Parade magazine because they adopted myself and my sister, and they were in their 50s. And so they got a government stipend for each child until they turned 18. And so this made the news. And the real family or biological family reached out to touch me at 30 they found me through the Parade magazine. I should write another book. But I tell you, I don't know how much audience I have or who will see this. But if you're adopted, don't go looking for them. Don't do it. If you answer the phone or you get an email that says you're so-and-so and that's really your brother, run. Leave the state, throw holy water and a match behind you, change your hair color, get a new name. Just don't do it. I'm not trying to fight anybody. I'm trying to save you a mess that you're going to end up hating either way. It's not good. It's not good. I was 30 when I was looked up. And I can't shoot nobody. They frown on that. I'm not sure why. So I've been going through all of that stuff, and that's been hysterically funny. You just wouldn't know. It's been hysterically funny. But I do think that those who are adopted should think first and act twice. Do it once right, you don't have to do it twice. Look into the other side first. If you want to know them, that's a whole nother story. But look into that shit first. Mm, I got time. What does everybody think about? We kidnapped the president slash dictator. Is that dictator slash president? I'm not sure. And his wife from Venezuela. That was fucking funny. Then we went in and we bombed the Iran area that they all decided the upper echelon should meet at. They died. So they sent the second tier to some other place together. They died. They tried to attack us on the water, our Navy. I can't remember which fleet. They died. Sent some fighters after us, some fighters, planes. They didn't make it. They got 3 of our guys, but our guys shoot it out. They were okay. Kind of cute. One of them came after one of a couple of family members came out with sticks. He had a what, AR-15 or whatever there. When I was in there, we were M16. That thing was better than your arm. You better take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he didn't jump out of there without bullets. Oops. Yeah, they dropped those sticks. I mean, they seriously brought a stick to a gunfight. What the hell? Many Iranians around the world were dancing and cheering, and this has been 40, 50 years almost. And I saw pictures. These girls were just like us. They were even in miniskirts. And suddenly they're in tents in 140-degree weather. What? And then here in the United States, they've all decided that if you're here, you stole the land and you're all at fault, so we're going to take everything and you can't be upset about it because you're on stolen land. I got news for them puppies. I'm married to Native American. I'm British, totally. DNA tests, all that. And he's on the chieftain line, and for many years he was chief. We just could not keep up with everything that was going on, working, and then over the weekend, if you had the weekend, you were doing something, with Native American, putting on, the village, put the village up, and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed it, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of expense. I like to keep money to go to North Carolina because I like to gamble up there. It's fun. And to go gem mining. That's a lot of fun. If you've not done the gem mining, Google it. Google's got everything. You can ask me. I don't care. Yeah, I've got live chat ups, just spread the love, guys. Come on. I'm not that bad. I'm not 30. And I'm sure there's some of the hippies out there that are my age. I would hope so. I see quite a few when I'm out and about, which actually hasn't been much lately. I agree. So, we did the ghosting thing, and we've done the Iranian thing. Oh, my God. I was almost as mad about boots on the ground in Iran as I was when they shot 2 of my service personnel, the National Guard, on Thanksgiving Day, who gave up the day and took the duty so people with families could have their dinner there. One young lady gave her life in her nation's capital, on Thanksgiving. So I haven't really calmed down from that. And then we have found that 6 have died already in this Iran conflict. And I'm like, okay, too many are dying already. We were told there wouldn't be boots on the ground. We don't need boots on the ground. These guys don't even have uniforms. They got Nikes and sweatpants. Come on. I mean, no other country will have them either. You got to wonder what's up with that. But we've already got, 10, 15 million that are displaced. It's horrific over there. It's actually biblical if you look at some things. I watch CNN because they actually have the news. Earthquakes, tsunamis. They know about that stuff. Fox every once in a while will tell you it's going to rain. Rest of the time they talk about, well, this guy's in for 26 for so. Who gives a flat shit? I like the dance. You cannot ask for donations. You can't get donations. You can't spend donations. You got to do the work yourself against whoever. You have to go door to door. You've got to do it all, and you don't get any money. You get a salary if you get elected. I like them guys. If it weren't so damn cold up there. So I see. I haven't had any live chat or any, and I'm wondering. I haven't had time to check into it. Maybe I'll throw this at my son. He probably has no time either. These things are more time consuming than people let on. They really. It's I think they got the AI thing out now, and it's almost a challenge because you want to go. I bet the AI can do it. It can fix it. I worked IT my whole life. They changed that shit every 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks, I was teaching new people new shit and myself learning at the same time. I'm telling you, the 90s and the early 2000s was pure hell. Did you unplug it and plug it back in? Damn it, that didn't work most of the time. Reset. Well, can you get somebody here? Where you at? Tulsa, Oklahoma? Yeah, no. We were in another city back then. That's it. All the call centers in the U.S. Now it's really cute because it's in Punjabi or somewhere because there. I work. I ran a hotel, 2 hotels, and they were owned, of course, by the Indians. And I won't try to go into that too far, but they were, and that's all right. And they would keep the cash aside and they bring the rest of it up. But they don't put the cash in there. So I don't know how much money has gone to India just from doing that. So even staying in a hotel, don't pay cash. Go ahead and put it on the card because I saw them walking out with cash like amazing amounts. Amazing amounts. I used to take the grandmother to the temple because I didn't want her to walk. I love these people. They are great people. We were friends, still are. But I mean, and work hard. Oh, you betcha, they do. They have the dark circles for a reason. But there was amazing theft going on, still is. They haven't even touched the iceberg yet. And I like these guys. Like I said, they work like crazy. I worked for them in my early 30s, and I had to go do other things. And worked at the base at Warner Robins Air Force Base, and just back and forth, and ran Holiday Inn, had the restaurant, the bar, and all of that. So it branches you out a little bit. So that's one of the greatest things. When I got married, we had no family. I had taken my husband from Georgia to Texas to San Antonio, and we did good. I love San Antonio. I've moved back there in my lifetime 5 times. And if it hadn't been for the mass exodus of all the criminals in 40 countries, I probably would have gone back. But that shit started, and I was like, oh, fuck no. It's just going to drift down here anyway. And it did. The gotaways. You got to wonder. The gotaways. Are they the good guys, do you think? Probably not. Probably not. They won't stay lit. Gavin Newsom has killed California and Nancy Pelosi. Oh, yes. Pocahontas, and she's not in that one, but I love the nickname. They talk about alligator Alcatraz. I call it Gator Gitmo. Don't you steal that from me. I like that. It's Gator Gitmo. I see my time is running up here. I still haven't had a live chat. Mm, mm. I always want to just turn you off because there ain't none of you out there, but I know that everybody works trying to actually get off work around this time, if you can. So I'm probably not going to do the full hour, although I'm a chatterbox, so I just might. You just never know with me, especially since I can relax. Amen. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. God bless all y'all. Come talk to me. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, you just don't know how much I needed that. Mm. I'm at the bar, and I try to make it where my husband can't be seen going in and out the front door. He's retired, but everybody knows he's a mechanic. And there's a used car salesman that buys cars in Atlanta and brings them back to Georgia, repairs them, and sells them. Guess what my husband's doing? He's the one that's fixing the ones that need to be repaired to be sold instead of being retired. He didn't like being retired. All the time he's been retired, he's been working. He was working at a shop for a friend of his that he used to drive for, and he used to teach. He was a driver's instructor there. Like I said, I don't know how this California needed to get licenses. And I think that bastard that killed those people in that red car only got 20 years. No, that ain't, Same with, why do you stay in Congress since 1986? You make roughly a couple $100,000, okay? Granted, 1986, think about that, folks. That's 40 years. She's been there, she done, I think, might be 50. Why? They said she was worth $280 million last year. Why is she there? Honey, if I was worth just $3 million, I wouldn't even be in the country. I'd be looking for a safe spot to squat in. I would sell up and move in a heartbeat. Yes, I would. They're all having problems with indigence as much as we are. But there are some places that just don't have nothing but a grocery store and a pub and a couple of houses and a church. I'm good there. That's where I want to retire. Fuck the U.S. No, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Well, some ways. I love the U.S. When I was overseas, I missed hamburgers at McDonald's. I got back. I had to throw away the hamburger. I don't know what the hell they did wrong or changed or so I got a French fry, threw them away. I always loved a shake at Burger King. Drank some of it, threw it away. I don't know what they did, but in the few years I was gone. But when I came back, fast food was awful. It was just awful. It wasn't before I left, so I don't know what happened there. And the ghost thing with my kid, well, the shadow critter with my kid, I've never been able to solve. I still like to ghost hunt. I love storm chasing. A friend of mine was with me, and we left the base and was going to follow this. We didn't have the equipment you do today. It's just, okay, we've got a radio to get here. This is moving this way. Let's hit this highway and we'll move along and, we'll catch something new. And I'm driving away, and we run into hail. And it was a little bit of hail. And there was no safe place yet to pull it to. And it took out the windshield, the back shield, the windows. And she's screaming her head off. I'm driving. And she just screaming. And I'm like, if you don't shut up, I'm going to throw you out of the car. Shut up. It was like a siren in the car. There was only one thing you could do, which was keep going to find shelter. And finally, I did find some shelter. Believe it or not, we were under a viaduct, which is the wrong place to be if you see a tornado. And I'm trying to get through all this. It looked like it was okay. We just have to deal with all this glass and go slow. We came out, and there went the tornado right in front of us. I've had 3 homes where tornadoes went through the backyard, destroyed it. All the cars, trees on them, and everything. Somehow missing the house. We had tornadoes that led off with the Hurricane Helene that hit us, and you could see the path. We were hit by 2 tornadoes on 2 different sides. These were not hurricanes. The hurricanes, they spin out the stuff in the water and all that in the wind. But we had tornadoes because I chased them with my dad. I've been doing it for God knows how many decades. And I couldn't get up on my own, so my husband finally carried me over to the wheelchair. And it had stopped by now. And he says, "You've got to see this." And he took me over to the back door, and there's 2 steps down, and he wasn't going to do that because that hurts. My eyelids hurt. It was there, but he had opened the door so I could see, and I was just devastated. The entire forest behind us and beside us was almost completely gone. Our trees, we had four huge trees that I just loved, were down completely. They were gone. Uh, One had hit my glass hothouse, took it out. But somehow it missed both the storage buildings. It missed the glass patio set. It missed the grill. It missed our neighbors' houses. But there wasn't hardly a tree left standing in, say, 4 acres. It was all gone. And you could see where the tornado had come through. We got lucky, and well, I think, because my husband parked two RVs against that outer wall in which it came from. That was the direction it hit this area. And I had never heard rainfall in the master bedroom, but I did that day. Of course, I'd gotten up 4:30 to go get surgery, which never happened. The entire city was down for 2 weeks, but you could hear it hitting. And I thought, we have like a wonder lock and that was sitting there, and then we have a totem behind it. It was sitting there, and the truck. He's got a truck. And then my car was in front of that, and I thought, oh, my car's going to get it. Yeah, it's going to take my car. And I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, there's been a tornado. There's been two tornadoes here, actually. We need to go inside and get to the interior room, which is where he had taken me when it started. And they didn't give us a warning, and I didn't see it coming, and I was shocked that I didn't see it coming. The first two times the tornadoes came through, I grabbed people and threw them in tubs and stuff, especially the kids. And we, like I said, had a lot of damage, but now the house is safe this time. But we ended up we lost all of the wood. We lost all the trees. We lost another 3 trees that had been injured, splintered, and enormous rates to take those down. And so those were down. So we have 1 tree and 2 trees actually in the front yard, and 1 tree on the corner of the acre of the backyard where the storage unit is. It looks like a big red bottle of white piping. And I was just shocked at wood was everywhere. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot. I got airlifted because a hurricane hit in an area I was in, and it flooded where we were, and everybody just kept going up, we're gonna swim soon. But they got us off. They airlifted us off, and you should see the people going, no, I don't want to do that. Shoving those things ain't gonna hurt you. They're gonna pull you up. But so I've been around this stuff for a while, and I was shocked at the devastation. And when we could, my husband took me out, and it's for 6 months. The devastation here was so bad, and I didn't see any government assistance or hear about it. What I heard was that that South Carolina had been hard hit, and they were taking care of them. And I was like, we were down for 2 weeks too, and we never saw anybody. There was not even the governor here at Augusta to say, "Oh my God, yeah." We were very hard hit. There was whole businesses that never opened again here. That they just shut. Dairy Queen had 3 go down. They didn't reopen. Captain D still has one of those that were damaged, especially severely. They didn't open again. They didn't rebuild. So we lost a lot of business. It was something. They've added some things and sold the land, and it's being repaired now. But to have no warning. I've been through an ice storm. They had no warning for it, but I had it. I felt it coming. I just saw it. I knew it. And my husband, I said, "Go get me a load of wood." And so he filled up the pickup, and he brought that back. And I said, "Get it on the porch, get it in the hearth, get it beside the hearth, because it's coming." And we had animals inside and outside because we're kind of like, a sanctuary for cats because they keep throwing them out here, and I keep feeding. So when the ice storm hit, my husband was not home. He was the driver. He was driving for Walmart, getting groceries to everybody during the pandemic. And so here we are. It's myself and my 13-year-old grandson. And trees are exploding. If it was a live tree, it exploded. So, and this was the second outhouse I put up there. A tree exploded, took it out. We were lucky though. We were all very lucky. It did hit my neighbor's chimney. She had to have that repaired. It did hit it really, really hard, but there was a little bit of structure problem. And it took them like a day, and they fixed that for her. I love her to death. She's 80 now, just turned 80. And when I went over there, I took her gift. She kept crying. Her husband passed away a year and a half ago, and they've been friends of ours for almost 15 years. So, it's difficult. She made me cry. It's difficult. They were married from the time she was 16 and he was 17. And they married in Alabama because at a certain age you can't or couldn't then. And they've been together all that time. She's just now 80. He was a couple, 1 year older, but he passed away a year and a half ago, so he would have been 78. He had pancreatic cancer. And I was over there, hospice was over there. I tried to make sure she was never alone because her family, she got kids, but they didn't bother. It's like, that's when you need kids, man. Same with me, with the broken leg up for a year and all that stuff, more surgeries up for a year. I got a get well card from my son. He delivered it, took 2 seconds to say, well, the surgery went well, bye. Off we went in a year and a half. And they're an exit from me, him, my nephew, my grandson, and didn't bring my granddaughter. It was, amazing. It's amazing what you find out your family will do, folks. You guys want me to write that book? Let me know. Let me know if you think there should be a book about that. Let me know. I could probably pop that out in about 2 weeks. Cheers. Oh God, that's good. Oh yeah, I see. I'm almost time up. Well, that's a part of few of my stories. If you're interested, come on in, tell me yours. I'm awfully talkative, so I promise I'll be a little quieter. We did talk about politics. I like that. I think Gator Gitmo's cool. I like that. I liked him ever since he got up after they tried to assassinate him. That man, I think he shook off like 4 or 5 Secret Service so he could get up and do his thing. And I love the Secret Services that was protecting him. They were what, 5'2"? He was head and shoulders above them. What were they going to do about a headshot? Excuse me. The other person I talked about before I leave, there's 2 now. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I didn't know he was into politics. I didn't know he had children and a wife. I didn't know him for anything but proved me wrong. I adored that kid. He didn't need a notepad. He didn't need his phone. He didn't need Google. He knew what he was going to answer. They would yell at him. They would call him names that I would have come out and cleaned out. But nobody, he stayed so calm. And most of them came to his side because he was right. But I knew him as that young man. And I had just started learning. I had seen him, and I knew Elon Musk had joined Trump's team. So, I had started seeing him, and it didn't really penetrate, though, when they massacred him and they covered it all up. And on the day he was shot, they said to lower the flags to half mast. I don't know why, but I turned to my husband and I said, this is shades of JFK. And I studied that for 50 years, trying to figure out that magic bullet. But I couldn't do it, even with the records that are out today. Or Marilyn Monroe, she was murdered. If you look at the Moore's pictures, you can see the redness where somebody held her mouth after they put the barbiturates in, and then held her mouth where she struggled. She was murdered. But Charlie was massacred in the front of the world. I don't want that name to go away. He worked hard. He was a good man. He was a good father. He was a good person. He was so smart. He was so American. And nobody has the right to do what happened to him. And you will never get me to believe that this little furry boy went out to the one roof that was the only place you could shoot from with his grandfather's World War I weapon. And mind you, I'm that age. I look good though, don't I? Thank you. And one shot, one kill. And a lot of snipers. Nothing about the 21st century. You can still hang out to everybody you've ever met. And I have all my treatments at the VAs. I mean, a lot of lovely people. And we're all going, that can't happen. That boy did not do this. He couldn't have done this. Yeah, he could have practiced. We've all had to practice. I got marksman, top honors as marksman. I never touched a weapon in my life. But I just don't see it. And I don't know what they're covering up, don't care. But I'm going to go with what I said when it happened and I heard it within 10 seconds. That's what I said. Candace Owens, I love you, girl. Peace out. You got to slow down. I admire you so much for what you're doing. And I think that it's amazing that somebody, a friend, is at least trying to give the facts for why Charlie was massacred. He was murdered, assassinated. It was live. It was over the heads of 4,000 kids. Somebody needs to find out more about this shit. Fuck Epstein files. I don't know why the absolute fuck all. They're still going on about Epstein. And if I hear Russian collusion one more time, they're going to need to send a Black Hawk helicopter over here, or helicopter, rather, helicopter, give me a lift out, because I'm going to be ugly. Okay, one more time. Come on. Weekend at Bernie's, we've suffered weekend at Bernie's for 4 years. I mean, the man used an honor pad, he did, but everybody else did. Good grief. We could teach Russia shit. This was so dark. You could teach Russia shit. This was dark on steroids in your fucking face. You don't have a government. It is not for we the people, for the people. And if you talk about it in Britain, they jerk you out, tase you, pepper spray you, pull on you, throw you on the ground, just pull you along, throw you in the hoose. What for? Oh, that's hate speech. Well, fuck off. We call it freedom of speech, you son of a bitch. So yeah, it gets a little salty. I try not to do that. They don't like that. I don't care. If you guys see me, please hit the like, hit the chat, talk to me, tell me what you think about all this damn mess that's going on. Iran, Iraq, it's always something. Afghanistan, it's, hey, how much harder do you want to try it to become Armageddon? You're doing real good already. Take a fucking break. And why, I still want to know why my reserve soldiers are there. I want to know why. It's a volunteer army. Why are the reserves there? The reserves are supposed to be doing the stuff like taking care of U.S. things like hurricanes. So why are they there? It boggles the mind. Oh, I don't understand boots on the ground because we've air superiority, we've sea superiority. Why are they doing this? And of course, you got the Ayatollah Khomeini's son. He's coming out next. What does he want? A new target? Yeah, he's made himself a target. People want the Shah back. They want the king back. I don't blame them. The king and all those people were massacred in '79. In case y'all don't know, look it up. Things get stupid around here. And I don't think all of us, especially as hippies, agree with that shit. I'm not giving up my fucking gun. I'm just not. You will have to take it from my cold, dead hands. I don't give a shit. I'm old. I got bail money. Fuck off. Do you agree or are you scared? Cheers. Mm. I grabbed an orange crush. I like the bottle soda. If any of you remember pulling up with your parents, going on a long trip, they'd have that silver cooler out there filled with ice, pick you a soda. Oh, God. I come close now. I have several that I buy in bottles, thank God, that I found, and my husband found for me. I had to stop, though. I grabbed the Fanta. I was like, I can't taste nothing, but I'm going to try this shit. And I don't like anything in a can. So I don't really like it in plastic bottles, but when you're thirsty enough, it's pretty good for the first 15 minutes. So I'm good with that. So if anybody has anything they want to talk about, ghosts, what have you, what's going on the planet, how did they find a 200 million-year-old hammer? Look it up. Yeah, where was that from? Where were these cities that melted? Just were incinerated. Incinerated. They know this. There's vitrification of rock. They know all that stuff. There's no other way to do that but a bomb. Same with I can't remember the name of the stuff they find, the rock, but it's caused by fusion by nuclear explosions. And they have a lot of it out there in sand. The thing they found underneath the Sphinx, I've been screaming for. Edgar Casey, the sleeping prophet, may God send you back to us, amen. If you have never heard of him or read about him, get a book, get it off Google. I don't care where. That's important shit. This man spent his entire life, he didn't know nothing when he was awake. He didn't know what he said or anything. His wife and his secretary took down everything, and they kept it. Over 14,000 readings that he gave, and he was allowed by the American Medical Association to actually treat patients who were terminal. And he saved every blooming one of them. Mustard plasters, this, that, and the other. One was, you need smoke of oil. It's in the pharmacy on 5th and Main. They run over there. The pharmacist doesn't have it. They no longer sell it or make it. They run back. This is Telegraph. They run back and they telegraph. They say they don't have it. And he actually says in his trend, he had to go to trend, and he said, yeah, they do. It's behind the oil. The oil smoke is behind this bottle on the third shelf to the left. There it was. They got it. They administered it. Their daughter recovered in 4 days. She was going to be dead in at least a week. And that's just one story. The bald ones are fun. You need to check that out. I know I check it out all the time. I'm old. I've been up here long enough, I think. The world is a wide place, and yet we've somehow made it smaller, just exactly as they said they would the Bible. I'm not a Bible thumper. The Bible we have right now is King James. King James was the Queen of Mary's son, the one that Elizabeth beheaded and betrayed. That was her one and only son. She was betrayed by the Scots. She was betrayed by France. She was betrayed, dear Lord above, by her cousin, Queen Elizabeth, who actually killed her. She committed matricide. It's just terrible. But her son is the one who put your Bible together, and that's why it's called the King James Bible. He was the first, I think, and only king that ruled both England and Scotland. Maybe not. It might have carried on into today. I love the royal family. Please pray for King Charles III. And with that, I think I'll leave you all with a blessing today. May God take a liking to all of us. I don't know about me, but I pray. And come see me. Come talk to me. I need somebody to talk to. I need to find out where the hippies are. Y'all show the hell up. Doodles. Wow, they just don't want to stop today. Oh, I see. They changed things around. We'll try this one more time. Bye, guys.